All right, so today we're going to be flying into, we used to be a tropical depression and then turned into Category 1 Hurricane 1 category. It's Elsa. This is the very first hurricane and the earliest hurricane we got. Here we are, not even July 4th. Early in July, we got our very first hurricane. Usually mid-August, that's when they start popping out. But now, due to the climate change and ridiculous temperatures, you'll see many of these hurricanes popping in, popping out because of so much hot water that's feeding them, And this is a bad news for the west coast of South Florida and also the Panhandle and Alabama, Louisiana. This all could make many different turns. This hurricane can go this way towards the Louisiana or Alabama or Texas. We don't know. It's Gulf of Mexico. Depends on the pressure. I'm not a meteorologist, but it depends on the pressure, higher pressure, lower pressure, and depends on how it squeezes this hurricane. Alongside southwestern coastline of Florida, so west coast of Florida right here, is going to scrape it. Everyone here, obviously, on the Key West will be affected. The west coast of Florida here, they will be affected. Tampa, obviously, will be affected. East coast of Florida, they're going to definitely get that certain gust wind, 40 miles, 42 miles an hour, something like that. Depending how its strength, depending which category it becomes. This could become a Category 5 by the time it gets here. God forbid. We don't know. It could be a Category 3. It could be a Category 4. That's the thing with these hurricanes. You never know. You can't predict which way they're going to go and how they're going to develop. Even though they have hurricane hunters right now flying around them, trying to collect the data. But, collecting data, processing all of that, they're still studying. They still don't understand, which way it's going to go. There's many different models. There's the European model and there's the American model. European model seems to be working the best. It's been proven to be the most accurate one. But they missed too, a few times. So anyway, we're going to be flying DC-6, Douglas DC-6, just south of Dominican Republic and Puerto Rico. This is Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic. So we're in the Dominican Republic, and we'll be flying, because it's right next to Dominican Republic, we'll be flying right in the center of it, right over here, with the Douglas DC-6 airplane. We're going to circle around it, and we'll see, how it is. There's a good possibility I might crash, There's a good possibility I might lose the control. But that's okay. Thanks to Microsoft Dynamic Weather, we actually get to do this. And I think this is what people are missing out. Everyone from PlayStation, it's missing out. This is the reason why Okay, let me explain this to you. This is not just another flight simulator, like X-Plane 11 or Just Fly or whatever. This is more than just a flight simulator. And it's the very first time in the history of consoles, for the very first time, way before you were born, for the very first time in the history of video games consoles, that the Xbox is the only console that's getting a flight simulator. And the best, most realistic, best possible flight simulator. So all you PlayStation fans, yes, this is a big deal. You might be jealous. Well, maybe you should buy yourself an Xbox and have both PlayStation and the Xbox. But this is a big deal. What's going to happen on July 27 on Series X and Series S, it's a pretty big deal. Because it's the most realistic replication over Flight Simulator, ever. I don't think there's ever going to be, you can make a better Flight Simulator than what they already have here. They can just continue to update it, keep updating it, keep patching it up, putting the new engine, whatever, making it even more realistic. That's what they're going to be doing from the Asobo team. But as far as Flight Simulator, X-Plane, might as well quit. Seriously, team at the X-Plane, you might as well quit if you can bring something like this. I don't think they have the resources. I don't think the Laminar, whatever, the guy, Steve, I don't think he has the resources. I don't think he has the money to achieve what Microsoft is achieving here. So, Flight Simulator, it's a big deal. In case you are, living under some rock, and not understanding that. It's a pretty big deal. So anyway, buy yourself an Xbox. Don't get left out. You want it. You want to fly. You want to check out the entire planet. You want to do it. Get yourself an Xbox. Stop being a fanboy. Get yourself an Xbox. Or be a fanboy for the rest of your life, for all I care. But you're going to be missing out. Big time. So anyway, let's go ahead and let's do this. Let's fly out right here in the middle. Like I said, it's a category 1. It's still developing. The eyes right over here. It's still kind of like, positioning itself. And we're going to go ahead, fly right over here for Punta Cana International. And then we're going to make our way right over here in the center of the Elsa Hurricane. Listen, I could be affected by this come Tuesday, come Wednesday. I could be affected because you don't know. This thing could change a trajectory and shift from left of the southwestern coastline of Florida to the center. And if it hits center as a category 3, God forbid, it's going to do exactly what Wilma did back in... when was Wilma? I forgot. 2013, 2014. I forgot. But anyway, it's going to do the same thing as Wilma did. Coming up from the center right here into the heart of South Florida, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Boca Raton, Palm Beach, all of it. Straight into the Okeechobee. And this is very dangerous if it goes straight up over here as a category 3, or let's say category 4 into the Okeechobee Lake. All right, if the levee breaks here, we're talking major floodings here, man. Major surge flooding. So this is just be a bit catastrophic situation if this son of a bitch, or if this, bitch, let's not call her son. It's not a son, it's a bitch. If this bitch, Elsa, turns to be a bitch, and she goes right ahead and just goes straight up, right in the center. I think I pissed her off now. I shouldn't have called her a bitch. I apologize, my bad. But I don't want you to be a bitch, okay? I want you to just, go back at the Atlantic over here and go up north. But we'll see what it's going to do. We don't know yet. We'll find out by Monday evening. We're going to know exactly where this thing's going to go. We should be able to determine right away with the European model. We should be able to determine whether it's going to go this way, or that way. Or it could go this way, and God forbid, it can go hit Louisiana, New Orleans. That's all they need, right? Hopefully that levee is much better built in New Orleans. We don't want to see the same repeat of 2005, Katrina. So, I don't know, man. We got to keep an eye on this one. I don't mean to, scare people, but you have to take every single one of these seriously. There is no such thing as, it's only category 1. There's no such thing as, No, every hurricane, it should be taken seriously. Every single one of them. I lived in Florida long enough to know that. I lived, in these tropics long enough to know that you have to take these suckers seriously every single time. When you don't take them seriously, well, that's when you actually regret. That's when you pay the price. So let's go and let's fly out right in the middle of it. Let's go ahead and let's do that. I'm going to be using my DC-6 because it's a heavier airplane. It got straight up spread wings and should be able to withstand the wind. I don't think the wind is that big right now. It's probably like in the center, you're looking at like 60 miles an hour. Yeah, but still 60 miles an hour can still, screw up the equilibrium of your plane. All right, here we go. We're doing the live weather. So we're going to go left this way. Okay, this is our position. Let's move the flaps up. Actually, forgot something here. All right, so we're gonna fly out to the ocean. This is live weather. You can see the clouds building up. Oh, come on. Losing control. Oh, come on. Damn it. We got to use a different airplane. This airplane is just... it's too heavy. We got to use something else, man. We're going to do this with the F-15. We're going to use the F-15 and get there really quick. It's just too much of trimming left, trimming right. It's just too much of a hassle. It's just, I don't want to use this airplane. I'm going to use something more reliable for this. You know, it's a good airplane. I like it, but it's just not for this purpose. We're going to use a F-15. We're going to get there quicker, and it's going to give us a better idea about this hurricane. And then we're going to put it right over here in the center. Set as arrival. There we go. Because it's just too much hassle using that DC-6. You know, it's just too much of babysitting. It's a great airplane, but it's too much babysitting. You know. And I'm not in the mood to be babysit that airplane. I just want to, you know, get to the Hurricane and check it out. Use the F-15, get there quick, you know. Plus, with the F-15, I can easily maneuver, go up to the higher altitude, and check things out from the above. It's just better. in many respects. All right, let's make sure it's a live weather. All right, let's do it. We'll just get there quicker, you know. We'll go to higher altitude. Look at the hurricane. You can see the clouds building up as we're approaching, going to our destination. Now the hurricane's right over here, but here you can see already the buildup of the clouds. Yeah, this was a great idea. Use the F-15, get there quicker. It's no brainer. Here, you can see it from here. The build up, the wall. We're not there yet. This is just the outer bands of this hurricane. See that wall? That's where that thing is mainly developed. That white wall. The F-15 is gonna really give me a much better idea of this hurricane, and I'll be able to like go a little bit higher altitude, look it from the above, come down, go through it. The DC-6 was a bad idea. You know, I don't know why I thought the DC-6 is going to be a good idea. So right now we're leaving Dominican Republic, because that's where this thing is, just south of Dominican Republic, and also south of Puerto Rico. You have to keep in mind dynamic weather from a satellite is trying to keep up and render in real time these clouds from the satellite imagery. So it might take a little while till the weather data renders this for us to see the full development of this storm, hurricane. And we're climbing up a higher altitude so we can see it better. When we get here, like right up here where my arrow is, then you know that we are like closer to it. But there's the wall, you can see it. I can see it from here. You can see as we get closer and closer. You'll see it. Maybe we should do the overhead camera. I don't know. To get you a better look of this this hurricane. All right, let me go a little bit higher. You can see that wall, you see it, right? See that big white wall across in the distance on a horizon? So now we're approaching it. Now we're definitely feeling some winds. Look at my airplane wobble. See? Definitely feeling the winds. Hey, look at the formation of the clouds. You see the clouds formation? How fast it's moving? See that? It's still a category 1, it's developing, but yeah, this thing looks nasty, man. And the problem is this: too much hot water out there, man. You got way too much hot water, and the hot water, it's just a bad recipe, man, for these suckers. All right, now we're definitely getting closer. Oh yeah, I mean, I feel it, bro. I feel the like the turbulence. It's constantly pushing me back left and right, like the winds are pushing me left and right as we're getting closer. And it's only a Cat 1, you know, this is a Cat 1. What, 60 miles an hour in the center? I know. Maybe 80 miles an hour in the center. I think the outer band's like 40, and like around the wall probably 60, and in the center it's most likely 80. But this thing will strengthen, you know, by Tuesday. There's no question about that. Why? Because there's so much hot water. So much hot water down there. It will strengthen. It will get stronger and stronger. That's science for you. That's not, you know, I don't have to think about that. That's just simple science, fact. You got too much hot water on the Caribbeans? Well, that's a fuel for this thing to take off. And what else it's got? It's got the Gulf of Mexico. Got even more hot water. So even more fuel. Plenty of fuel to turn into Category 3, Category 4 easily. Here, let me show you. So this is what we're looking at right now. I'm going to go a little bit higher altitude, just so you guys can see it better. But yeah, this thing looks nasty, bro. For sure. Look how big it is. We're still not close to the eye. We still got 80 miles to the eye. The eye's still developing. It's not there yet. Look at that thing. No such thing as a what's that saying? No such thing as a good hurricane. They're all bad, man. Even a Category 1 can create extensive damage, flooding, especially if it's a slow-moving one. So they're all bad, pretty much. Let me get a little bit higher altitude. There we go. It was a good idea that I chose to take F-15. Now we're gonna go inside of it a little bit. We're gonna go inside the sucker. We're gonna get a little taste of it. We're gonna spin around and take a little taste of this thing. I think that's where the eye is going to be. See that development over there? That little hole? I think that's where the eye wants to develop. Right over there. Right over there. See that circulation? See it? The opening? That's exactly where the eye wants to form. So we're going to go inside of it. We're going to spin around. I think this is pretty cool that you can do this with Flight Simulator. Hold on. I think this is where the eye wants to develop, honestly. I see the circulation. I'm going to go right through it. Hold on to your butts. Oh my God. What have I got myself into? Yeah, this is a nasty Category 1, man. A lot of storm, a lot of lightning. Ain't no joke. This is definitely where the eye wants to be developed. Look, there's another guy, adventure guy. He came to visit Elsa as well. How nice of him. Yeah, this is definitely going to be the eye right here. There's no question about it. Let's go underneath. Check it out. Let's go right through the clouds. Let's see what we're dealing with here. Boy. Definitely gonna be the eye over here. adventure guy. I wonder what kind of plane he's using to check this hurricane. There's two of them, adventure guy and a Ricky JJ HB. You know, it would be cool if they made a Hurricane Hunter airplane, and you can collect data and study. I think that'd be cool. The only data you can collect is from satellite, vision rendering. But the data they're collecting, obviously, it's the wind, the gust, stuff like that. Yeah, this is where the eye is gonna be, man, for sure. I'm gonna get to the center over here, and then I'm gonna go up to the high altitude, and we'll check it out from a higher altitude. But yeah, man, this is a pretty good formed up Category 1, man. This thing's gonna strengthen. And that thing over there, see that circulation? That's gonna be the eye. That 3.5 miles, I think 4 miles circle. Definitely that's going to be formation of the eye. Yeah, man, watch out for Elsa this Tuesday. I'm telling you, man. I'm not a meteorologist, but I can see that this sucker is going to strengthen. It's going to get bigger and stronger. I would definitely take this hurricane seriously, considering the high temperatures, middle of July, hot water, all the hot water, especially in the Gulf of Mexico. Yeah, man, you definitely want to take this sucker seriously. So I'm gonna circle around that circle right there, and I'm gonna go at a higher altitude. I'm gonna take a higher altitude so we can see it from the above. Yeah. Well-formed hurricane, for sure. And why wouldn't be a well-formed hurricane? Category 1. It has all the ingredients that it needs. It has everything it needs to become what it needs to become. We'll know by Monday exactly where this thing's gonna go. I'm telling you, this is where the eye is gonna be, right here. I predicted it. I'm telling you, right here, this formation right here. It's about 4.5 miles, maybe longer. Maybe 5 miles. This thing right here, the circulation. And we're gonna go right through it, right through this buildup of circulation. Ricky, he already got in. I'm not sure what he's using, but he got in. Oh yeah, man, I feel the winds. Oh my goodness. Oh, it's not good. Oh Lord. Oh, this is circulation for sure. For sure. Look at the clouds forming up around it. This is the circulation of the eye. You see the sun passing through. Oh, for sure. Right here. For sure. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. This is the circulation where the eye is gonna form. 100%. 100%. So guys, listen, man. This is no joke. You know, we're not playing some simulated version of a hurricane. This is real. This thing, it's out there. You see the eye shining through. This is the circulation of the eye. This is going to develop into Category 2, Category 3, possibly Category 3 by tomorrow evening, and then maybe Category 4 by Monday. Why? Because there's so much hot water, man. This thing, it's on the open water, early in July. All that hot water, man, it's just a recipe for a very powerful hurricane. And I'm telling you, I don't know which direction this thing's gonna go. It could go, you know, directly hit South Florida. It can go west coast of Florida. It can go out to the Gulf of Mexico. And then, you know, go to Alabama, New Orleans. You can go straight to Texas once you get to the Gulf of Mexico, Houston. I don't know. There's so many different trajectories that this thing could go through. It all depends on that pressure. The pressure. Lower pressure, higher pressure. And that, you know, trajectory of opening window for this thing to slingshot into whatever direction it's going to slingshot to. But you should definitely keep an eye on this sucker. That's my whole message here. You know, I'm not joking. You should definitely consider this hurricane seriously. I know they'll talk about it on the news tomorrow, a little bit more. But I would definitely take this sucker seriously. It's a well-formed hurricane, for sure. Now, the question is, hold on. Hold on. question is, which way is going to go this hurricane? You know, is it going to go this way? Is it going to go towards the west coast of Florida? That's the projected path, right? But that path could change. Doesn't mean that it's 100% that it's going to go this way, right? It'd be out over here. Now, if it's a Category 3, this area right here on the west coast of Miami definitely is gonna feel it. Not so much the east coast right here of Florida, but it could change. It could slingshot to the center right here through the Everglades of Miami and then do the same thing that Wilma did. When was Wilma? 2010, 2012? I don't know. I can't remember what year Wilma was. Was it 2013? Either way, it's going to do the same thing that Wilma did. And Wilma was Category 3 and went straight up through the center of South Florida, right here in Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Pompano, Boca, West Palm Beach, Port St. Lucie, just went right through and caused a lot of damage. And it was a very slow moving storm. It took about 2 days to pass through. It created a lot of floodings, a lot of damage. People without power for like 3 weeks, 4 weeks. Sometimes some of them were like without power for months. It was a pretty devastating hurricane, and it went right through the center right here. Now, God forbid it goes through the center. I'm not saying that it will. God forbid it does. But since it's so close to the original projected path being right here, all the hot waters right here next to Caribbeans and Key West and Cuba, all this hot water could change that trajectory. It might go out to the center. So we don't know. Might not go out to the center. Might go out this way. Might go out to the Gulf of Mexico and then affect New Orleans. And we don't want to see that happen either. Let's say strength to a Category 4 or a Category 5 with all the hot water here, and then you got a same repeat of 2005 Katrina. God forbid. We don't want to see that. Nobody wants to see it, but that could easily happen. I have to give all these options. That's what you're supposed to do. Doesn't mean you want to scare people. It's just you want to let people know there's all kinds of options here. People should be alerted. This thing can go either or. And you don't want to gamble with this one. I think you should be prepared. You should be prepared. Whether you are here in New Orleans, Alabama, Louisiana, Houston, Texas, you should be prepared. South Florida, you should be prepared. Tampa, you should be prepared. Pensacola, you should be prepared. Tallahassee, you should be prepared. Alabama, you should be prepared. Because you don't know. Louisiana, 100%. Louisiana, you should be prepared. Why? Because you don't want to do it the last minute. You don't want to do the preparation, evacuation at the last minute. You don't want to do that. It's better to be prepared in advance. Hey, I would rather be prepared and nothing happens than not to be prepared and then something happens unexpected, and then I'm fucked. Sorry for the language. So that's why I'm kind of giving this warning in the message. Hopefully nothing does happen, but that's the thing. We do not know. Like I said, this could be either or. So let's continue. As you can see, it's a well-formed hurricane, and it's right there on the water, and there's nothing stopping it. It's open water, hot open waters. It's like a large highway of hot water full of fuel. Think about it. It's like a fast car that has unlimited fuel on that highway for 800 miles, and it's just all that extra fuel. And what's the fuel? Hot water. That hot water, hot temperatures. It's got exactly what it needs to strengthen and to slingshot to wherever it needs to go. Now, where is it going to go depends on the higher pressure, lower pressure in our atmosphere, and the circulation of the winds. If it's a lower pressure, well, the thing might go a little bit to the left. If it's a higher pressure, it might go up a little bit to the right. It's like a magnet pulling it. Higher pressure, it's like a magnet pulling it to the right. Lower pressure, pulling it to the left. Now, European model, we'll see what they give out, what kind of spaghetti trajectories they put out. The European model's pretty good, actually. They've been spot on a lot of these hurricanes. So I definitely keep an eye on a European model to see their projections and their trajectory. Also, we'll find out from Miami Hurricane National Center. I'm sure they're going to have, as we speak right now, over the weekend, a hurricane hunters. I'm sure they're already there. The hurricane hunters are already there collecting the data. I'm pretty sure 100% they're already there. I'm 100%. They already got the aircraft there, and they're already flying, collecting that data. Just what I'm doing right now, circling around it. The only difference is they're right inside, and they're going to collect some more data. Once it's strengthened to a Category 3, they're going to go back to that wall of the eye to collect even more data. So all of this is going to be happening in a course of 72 hours. Monday evening is very critical. Monday evening, we're going to know exactly where this thing's going to go. So I don't mean to scare people, but you should be prepared, man. I'm not saying you should go out and buy all the paper towels. I'm not saying you should go out and buy all the water. I'm simply saying keep an eye on this sucker. It's a well-formed hurricane, and it doesn't look like a joke. And you see that opening over here? That opening over here? That's the wall that is trying, the eye of the wall. That's the eye that's trying to form up right there. It's about, I don't know, like 7 miles. Right there, 7 miles. It's trying to form up. Right over there. Right over here. Right here. I'm not a meteorologist. I just have a lot of experience. I lived in tropics for a long time. I, watched the documentaries on the hurricanes and how they develop. I read about the hurricanes. I study them. And I learned enough to know a little bit about hurricanes all these years. Okay. Why? Because I want to know. I'm just like you. I'm scared. You don't know what this thing can do. You can lose your house. You can lose everything. It can flood you down. You can get flooded. You don't know what this thing can do and how devastating can it be. And I know what it's capable of. I know what these suckers are capable of doing. the day you stop respecting the nature is the day you find out, oh shit. Respecting the nature means understanding it, trying to understand it. That's what respecting it means. Like, okay, we're trying to understand trajectory of this hurricane. We're trying to understand how these hurricanes develop, these typhoons, right? How do they develop? What's feeding them? What's causing them to develop, etc., etc. Does the climate change have something to do with them being more rapidly active? Does the global warming have something to do with it, them being more rapidly active? All of these things, we're trying to understand. We're trying to use scientific approach and try to understand, how they work and why they're so more active and why they're so more aggressive. Category 3, like last year we had a Category 5. No, a year before last year. Not last year, but 2019. We had a Category 5 in Bahamas. You've seen what it did. Spinning there for 2 days. Category 5. Devastated Bahamas. Devastated the Virgin Islands. Just devastation. Look at what happened to Puerto Rico. Devastating. Devastating. And they're more aggressive. Each year, it seems like they're more aggressive. Why they're being so aggressive? Could be the global warming has something to do with that. Possibly. Hot waters, during the summer. That's what they want. That's what they need. They need that fuel. Okay? That could be one of the reasons. Now, what's causing global warming? Do I want to point fingers at humans? I don't know. That the jury's still out on that one. But we sure as hell have a lot of industrial, impact on our planet. Burning stuff and polluting our air, the atmosphere, a very small, tiny atmosphere that we have. Martian atmosphere is better than ours. Did you know that? So, I don't know. Are we the cause of the global warming? There's 8 billion of us. We got a lot of industry. We're burning a lot of shit, polluting a lot of shit. Yeah, you could say so. 8 billion people on the planet definitely has something to do with it. You can definitely say that. And I know some people have a difficulty accepting that fact. So as you can see, man, this thing is I think I circled all around him, as you can see on the map down below, right over here, right over there. I'm gonna go inside a little bit, just to get a better perspective. There's another guy, Frank. A lot of people are being active. It could be a YouTubers, some of these YouTubers, they're doing the same thing I'm doing, It makes for a good video, I guess. They're going through this hurricane. Now, speaking of flight simulator for the Xbox Series S, unfortunately, it's going to be 1080p upscaled to 4K with HDR or Dolby Vision. It's still not bad. Guys, you gotta remember this is a very demanding game. Even on a PC. Even on a PC. This is a highly demanding game. So you have to keep that in mind. It's a highly demanding game, even on a PC, and still is a demanding game, even on a PC. So for Series S to do 1080p, upscale to 4K, I'm not sure what frames. Is it going to be 60 FPS? I don't know yet. That's why we're going to wait till July 27th to determine what frame rate the 1080p upscale to 4K it's running. Now, is the image going to be sharp with a 1080p upscale to 4K? Don't expect on the Series S to have like a super sharp detailed image, because the source resolution, it's 1080p. But think about the experience. You're still gonna have a good experience flying and enjoying a flight simulator on a $300 console. Now, here's some more interesting news. According to the Asobo latest interview, Series X version, it's running in 4K, but is it a native 4K? When asked that question, they kind of choked up on that question. Is it native 4K? They're like, well, we tested it that it's running at, output 4K resolution, but it seems to be downscaling to 1400 or something like that. So it looks like that the Series X version, it's not a native 4K 30. It's most likely 1440p checkerboard to 4K with a 30 FPS. And that's okay too. I mean, look, guys, it is what it is. I don't mean to disappoint you, but even with a super beefy PC, people are having a difficult time, keeping that native 4K at like 60 FPS. Even with a 2080 Ti, even with a 3080, they're like native 4K 50. Yeah, native 4K 50 with the ultra settings. So you gotta be realistic. We all have to be realistic when it comes to July 27th Series X version of Flight Simulator. It doesn't mean that it's always gonna stay like that. It doesn't mean that the resolution, it's always gonna be checkerboard 1440p or some kind of dynamic resolution, 1600p to 4K. They might find a way to keep it at native in the future updates, right? But I think in the beginning, in the launch of July 27th, we'll probably find out from Digital Foundry that it's downscaling to some kind of dynamic resolution of 1400 to 1600, which is still pretty good, dynamic resolution of 1400 to 1600, upscaling, downscaling, depending on the rendering to keep that frame steady. If that's the case, that's still gonna look good. You're still gonna have a nice picture quality, but just don't expect it to be super sharp. Okay, that's what I'm trying to say here. Don't expect to be Gillette sharp. It's not gonna be Gillette sharp. it is what it is because it's not a native source of 4K. And I know some people are going to say, oh, well, then it's not a super powerful console. Yes, it is a powerful console, but it's not a super powerful PC. It's the best console that we can have in terms of power. That's Series X. But it's not like, you can't measure it at like a super powerful PC. Like SLI, 3080, right? Or 3090 Ti. With the i9 processor with like some, 18 cores, okay? And like 40 threads or something, 4.8 gigahertz, or some ridiculous 64 gigabytes DDR4 super bus speed memory with a ridiculous megahertz of speed. We're not talking about a supercomputer. Now, supercomputer, those guys, they're gonna enjoy this. Native 4K, 60 FPS, ultra settings, all the bells and whistles, right? But we have to look at consoles as to what they are. And this brings me to another subject, guys. I want to pause this. I want to say something really quick. This brings me to another subject that I want to talk about really quick here in a second. I'll turn the sound down a little bit. It's too loud. Remember, I made that video 2 days ago. 2 days ago, I made that video talking about Google Stadia. Even though I know Google Stadia has failed as a service, it is what it is. They have failed as a service. But what Google Stadia and Amazon Luna have proved to me is that this is the future of gaming. And hear me out. Why do you think the Phil Spencer is investing billions of dollars into the xCloud and the Azure? Why do you think the Phil Spencer is pushing the xCloud? Why do you think the Sony is also partnering up with Microsoft to use and hire the technicians from the Azure so they can help them with Sony's cloud service, future service, that's going to turn from PlayStation Now to something else? Why do you think these cloud services are being, constantly announced? Because they're thinking about the future. The one issue and one problem you're always going to have with consoles, it's going to be limited power, limited juice. What you get is what you get. Okay? That means what you have built inside that console, that's what you have. Those are the specs, and there's nothing developers can do about that. They're limited. They have a limited amount of specs built inside that console. So ask yourself this question. Why would Sony, why would Microsoft waste their resources paying money to AMD, paying money to other manufacturers to build these consoles? It costs them money. They have to pay the labor, hard work, labor on that. They have to have factories all around the world to build these consoles. It costs them money to do that. Now let's look at the alternative. Streaming. Cloud streaming, it's everywhere, right? All of your movies. Look at the Amazon Prime. The blockbuster movie, Tomorrow War, it's on Amazon Prime. You can watch it. Dolby Vision, Dolby Atmos, it's right there. Click of a button, watch it. Whatever you want to watch it, you get to watch that movie. Black Widow. Pay $30 and you can watch it as much as you want at your home. So everything is being streamed. Look at all these streaming services. Peacock, NBC Universal Peacock, Paramount Plus, which they're going to have a Top Gun Maverick on there this holiday season. Disney Plus, HBO Max, the list goes on and on. Netflix, right? Hulu, ESPN Plus, Spotify, my goodness, Joe Rogan on Spotify, all the podcasts, everything's streaming. Even satellite radio, XM, Sirius XM, it's on the cloud as well. Everything's on the cloud. Even DJing, a Beatport DJ, Beatport Link, it's on the cloud. The entire library of underground DJ music, it's at your disposal at the fingerprint. Click, just one click. So everything's on the cloud. So what makes you think? I'm asking you. And I have consoles. You know I have every single console. You know what I have. To those of you who follow me. So what makes you think that Sony and Microsoft are not going to invest by 2030 or 2031, as I've been predicting? Call me a modern prophet of gaming, I don't care. As I have been predicting, what makes you think? Once by 2028, 2029, the new upgrades of the PlayStation 5 and Series X are, having their cycle at the end, like a dinosaurs. What do you think is going to happen next? 2029 circa, 2030 circa, and then 2031. What do you think is going to happen? The internet is going to become better. The internet fiber optic infrastructure will be much, much better. It'll become more affordable with the packages. The servers will become much faster, blazingly faster. And they're already making some pretty badass servers. The CPU will get better and better. We're going to reach to the point 10 years from now where our CPU is going to be at a quantum speed. Quantum speed. Quantum speed. I know this for a fact. I'm not going to tell you who told me, but I know this for a fact. 10 years from now, you're looking at a quantum speed processing. Lightning speed. Speed of light. You're going to have such an amazing experience with a cloud gaming by 2031, then these consoles will be obsolete. Even right now when you think about it. No, really think about it. You have to download the game. And these games are huge. Look at Call of Duty. 300 gigabytes. To get to Modern Warfare, to get to Warzone, to get to Cold War, Black Ops, to get all of these DLCs, right? 300 gigabytes just for Call of Duty. You want to play Battlefield, you're looking at 120 gigabytes plus the additional DLC. So right there's 480, close to 500 gigabytes just for 2 games. 500 gigabytes just for 2 games. Flight Simulator. How big do you think that's going to be? With all of the DLCs and all of the updates and patches and everything else they have to put in there, everything else a Asobo team has to implement, what do you think it's going to accumulate to? 200 gigabytes. Now you're going to have to buy that 220 plus tax, 230, 1 terabyte Seagate SSD. And that 1 terabyte SSD is not enough. It's only 899 gigabytes. You're going to suck that dry so easy. On top of buying that console. And then buying an additional hard drives. Additional solid state drives to back up all of your games. To back up all of your saves. It's a button. Click. Like Netflix, like Amazon Prime, like HBO Max. You just click a button. Boom. You're playing. That's the future, guys. People don't want to go through this bullshit. Physical media is dying. It's pretty much dead. As I've been saying. As soon as Oppo, I was the first one who said it. I still have my Oppo. I love my Oppo. But I was the one who said it. if Oppo it's dropping out of 4K Blu-ray players or Blu-ray players in general, you know that the physical media is dead. It's dead. It's like on its last life support. It's pretty much on a life support. It's dead. Everything I've been saying has come to fruition. You can check those videos. I have over 6,000 videos. Go watch them and you'll see my predictions. So, my whole point here, and I want you guys to stay with me. Now you know. Look what Maximum Performance has achieved. And they're a small company. They're small. Small company. From Canada, Toronto. Look what they have achieved. I was able to access their PC with a very powerful PC they have. And I was able to access it and run it in native 4K. No problem, no issues. So technology, it's advancing. These cloud services are showing us the technology, it's ready for the future. And this is going to be the future. Forget Stadia as a service. Yes, we all can agree that Stadia sucks because of Phil Harrison. It sucks as a service. We can all agree to that. But forget Stadia as a service. Think about technology. Cloud technology in general. Are you trying to tell me that the cloud technology is not going to advance 8 years from now, 9 years from now, 10 years from now? Is that what you're trying to tell me? Of course it's going to advance. So, yes, you'll have some fun with these consoles. In the next 7 to 8 years, you'll have some upgrades. But after that, 2028, 2029 circa 2029, going into 2030, that's it. It's going to become like a dinosaur, slowly fading away, fading away, fading away, fading away. Because why would Sony and Microsoft waste money building the new upgrades when they can simply create a super data center and have developers make the best possible games they can make with Unreal Engine 5 or Decima Engine, whatever, Volume 3, Volume 4. Because developers will be able to have any kind of resource they need to make the best possible games. Imagine what's going to be possible if, let's say, Bethesda, it's working on a exclusive game for Microsoft, and Phil Spencer says, hey, whatever you need, whatever horsepower you need, we will upgrade our data center. Whatever memory you need to render, we will upgrade our data center. Whatever CPUs you need for us to help you bring the most best possible realistic video game you want to make, the most ambitious exclusive game you want to make, we will have that for you because they have money, they have resources, and they can upgrade the data center. So why would they waste money building a consoles, some upgrade consoles where people will have a difficult time buying when they can build a data center for less money and keep that data center always updated? And you'll never have to worry about, oh, can we run this game? Developers won't have to scratch their heads. Oh, can we use Unreal Engine 5 for xCloud or for PlayStation Cloud or whatever? They'll be able to build whatever they want. Basically, there won't be any limits. It'll be like a CGI movie. There won't be any limitations because we have a data center. And when you have a data center, they can upgrade whatever they want to upgrade. And you'll never have to worry about Oh, can I play this game? With a console, you have to worry about that. Because you're limited. You got a limited power to what you can achieve. You know, and I have consoles. This is coming from a guy who has consoles. I have all of them. But at least I can acknowledge trajectory of where technology is going. So that's why when I made that video the other day about cloud gaming, that's what I meant. I still stand by that statement. I'm still right about that trajectory. It's exactly going exactly the way I have envisioned it to be going. And I don't think I'm wrong about it. Hopefully I'll still have hopefully I'm still doing YouTube by 2031, because I don't have a crystal ball. I don't know what's going to happen 8 years from now. I don't know if I'm still going to be here. I don't know. But if I'm still here, if my YouTube channel is still up by 2031, it would be nice for me to make a video to tell you I told you so. I think it would be very nice for me to make that video in the future, 2031, to tell you I told you so. So that's all I'm trying to say. Now let's get back to the hurricane. All right, let's resume. Anyway, getting back to this hurricane, you know, it's a well-developed Category 1, and I think you should take it seriously. As I said earlier, no such thing as a good hurricane. They're all bad. Every single one of these suckers are bad. Even a storm, depending what kind of a storm cell it is, can produce tornadoes, hail, all kinds of craziness. If it's a slow-moving cell, it can produce floodings, all sorts of kind of craziness. So you should keep an eye on this one. You guys should keep an eye on this hurricane. My God, there's a lot of people checking out this hurricane. All Road, Ultimate, X Cube Turbo, QC Frank. A lot of people are checking out this hurricane, dude. A lot of people are doing it. I don't know how long should I stay here with this. Maybe we should. Let's go through the clouds. Let's just let's check the wings over here. I want to see something. I want to see how. How badly are the winds? I'm gonna get a little bit lower. Oh my goodness, I definitely feel it. Hold on, I'm gonna. Oh yeah. Definitely feeling the turbulence. I think this is exactly where the eye is going to be, right over here. That opening. It's developing. It's amazing how far video games and technology and the softwares have really advanced. You know what? When I look back 20 years ago, and I fast forward now, it's amazing how far we have advanced. Honestly, it's something we should be proud of. Really, how far we have advanced. I think we should tap ourselves on the back. Say, damn it, man, we really have advanced. And what's 20 years? 20 years, it's nothing. Imagine another 20 years. Imagine another 20 years, like 2050, right? And how far we're going to advance another 20 years. Another 20 years, I'll be 60. I'll be 63, right? 63 years old. And I can't even imagine, like, what's going to be possible, dude. It's just going to be crazy. You can see the water's already getting bad. A lot of winds there. I couldn't have done this without F-15, dude. You gotta use the Air Force for this. And the F-15 came in perfect for this. Eagle Striker. Perfect. Let's go to the center right here. Definitely you can see the waves are forming up nicely down there. As we get closer to the center, you can see the buildup of that storm. It's even bigger. We're going to go ahead and we're going to hurry up. I want to get directly to the center of it. All right, things here are getting a little bit worse. Let me see some. A lot of turbulence, for sure. So this is where I believe the eye is going to develop by tomorrow evening. Looking at the formation of the clouds over here. It's just my prediction. I could be wrong. But it seems like a lot of people are here in the center, cruising around, checking out this Category 1. And I think this area right here, most likely, where you're going to see that development. Oh yeah, this is definitely the area where I know that circulation, man. You'll see tomorrow evening, this thing go Category 2, Category 3 tomorrow evening. 100%. A lot of circulation here. This is where the eye is gonna be, guys. There's no question about it. You'll see tomorrow evening. Check your meteorologist weather channel and you'll see. Oh, it's getting worse over here, dude. Look at this. I told you, the circulation right here. My God, I hate to be always right. Yep. Circulation right over here. This is where the eye's gonna be, man. Exactly where I pinpointed. Told you. Told you guys. Oh yeah, for sure. This is it. A lot of circulation. Give it to you here. Oh, yeah. Exactly as I predicted it. And you will see tomorrow evening. You heard it from me first. So, what's the whole point here? The whole point here is you should take this seriously. Yeah, you can have fun, enjoy your July 4th, cheers. But if you live in South Florida, if you live in the west coast of Florida, if you live in, you know, Pensacola, Florida, or New Orleans, Louisiana, Alabama, Houston, Texas, I think you should keep an eye on this thing. You should definitely keep an eye on this thing. Once it goes out to that Gulf of Mexico, that's it. That's like jet fuel. Boom. It's gone. Super fast. It's going to be slingshot whichever direction it goes. But wherever it goes, it's definitely going to gain the strength. And it'll become Category 4, Category 5. And you got to keep an eye on that sucker. Hopefully nothing happens. Hopefully this thing just, loses its strength, right? But you can't think like that. You got to take it seriously. You always have to think about the worst case scenario. And if it doesn't happen, well, great. That's awesome. Nothing happened, that's great. But you should always have that precaution of worst case scenario. Look at the circulation here. Especially right over here. Look at the lightning and the storm cells building up. Yeah, man. I look at the waves down at the ocean building up as well. It's all circulating, slowly circulating. You see in this guy, Skeleton Aljam 3292, it's doing exactly what I'm doing. It's circling around this area. Because that's where they all believe we'll see the development of the eye by tomorrow evening. Look at this thing. This thing is well developed. It's getting worse. It's getting worse by the minute. Look at this. See that opening, that circulation? It's exactly what I was telling you about. It's exactly what I was talking about. I should be a hurricane expert, dude. The Air Force should hire me. I could be the guy in the back. I don't have to be the pilot. I could be just the guy in the back observing, collecting data. So there you go. Air Force should hire me. Look at that opening. Exactly what I was talking about. Building up that formation. Building it up. Circulating. Getting that eye wall. 7-mile stretch. 8-mile stretch. Building it up. I know what I'm talking about. And I think it's getting worse now. Jesus. The development's getting stronger. I can feel it in the turbulence as well. And just so happens everybody, even this guy, it's exactly where I'm at, checking it out. Look at this. This shit is nasty. This is where the eye wall is going to develop, right here. It just takes time. So tomorrow evening, go check your meteorologist and you will see. From Miami Hurricane Center, you will see exactly that this is going to be the eye wall, 7 miles, 8-mile stretch, wide eye wall. It's going to be a Category 3. 100%. Tomorrow evening, you can bet your money right now. It's good. Take it to the bank. Take it to the bank. Tomorrow evening, Category 3. Hurricane Elsa, for sure. For sure. How about a round of applause for the Asobo team and Microsoft for allowing us to do this? This has never happened in the history of simulator, that you can actually do this. Thanks to the satellite imagery rendering through the Azure, that we can actually look at that development. Exactly the building up of that eye wall, slowly, 7-mile stretch. Exactly what I was talking about. Exactly. Exactly. Yeah, this is getting worse, man. It has moved up a little bit from my original point. It has moved up a little bit, so the eye's developing good. Yeah, guys, take this hurricane seriously, okay? You're gonna remember this live stream on Tuesday. Oh, Mr. 4K told us so. Yeah. Sometimes you should listen to Mr. 4K. Slow down a little bit and look at the turbulence, how bad it is. Oh, it's definitely bad. Here, let me turn out the sound so you can hear it. that wind? My plane is shaking, dude. Definitely shaking. I have a hard to control it now. Build-up of the eye wall is getting worse. But you're gonna see it form tomorrow evening. Mark my words. This thing category 3 tomorrow evening. Monday, don't be surprised if it's category 4. Monday. Tomorrow evening. Today's Saturday. Alright, tomorrow Sunday, July 4th. Category 3 tomorrow. Category 4 Monday. Take it to the bank. I'm telling you right now. Take it to the bank. Cat 3 tomorrow evening. Cat 4 Monday evening. Take it to the bank. There's nothing stopping you. Open water, high temperatures, early July, record-breaking temperatures, hot water. There's nothing stopping this Elsa that's in the way. I'm just being honest with you. I'm not trying to scare people. I'm not trying to panic people. I'm not trying to give you shortness of breath, panic attack. I'm just being honest. And I'm giving you a heads up. Watch out for this thing. I'm not telling you to freak out immediately. I'm just saying keep an eye on the sun, on this Elsa. I almost called her a biatch. I don't want to upset her, but keep an eye on Elsa. Let's make another circle around it, and then we're gonna head back to the airport. I'll make a closing statement, and then that's it. Stream. It's already been a 2 hour. I spent 2 hours here, I think more than enough. Originally, I was going to use Douglas DC-6, and then I realized, hey, this is an old plane. This old plane cannot handle this. I need something faster, more powerful, can go up a higher altitude in seconds. So Eagle F-15, Striker Eagle F-15, obviously was a perfect choice for me. Excuse me. Alright, so let's head back home. this hurricane is located. You see that wall? That's what I was telling you about. You see this right here? See that? The circulation? That's what I was telling you about. It's hard to see it when you're inside of it, but when you look at it from the space, then you see what I'm talking about. 8 miles is a long way to go. Here, let me show the circulation, the circle, like right here, so that way people know I'm not bullshitting. You'll see in a minute. See it right now because you were in it, but from the space you can see the circulation as it's moving, as it's forming. All right, we gotta go home.
guys have to try VR. You know, as much as I am excited about Series X and Series S version of Flight Simulator, but let me tell you, virtual reality is where this is, where it's at. Virtual reality is where you're truly going to feel like a pilot. So virtual reality is something I highly recommend. If you truly want to enjoy this game, virtual reality, across the board, man. I think Microsoft needs to include virtual reality. You know, with the games like flight simulator, that alone is the reason to jump into virtual reality. Games like Forza Horizon 4, Forza Horizon 5, upcoming Halo, I mean, all of that, it's really a good reason to jump into VR. Games like Oh my goodness! Oh my God! The unthinkable has happened, guys. The unthinkable has happened. Dum dum da dum da da dum 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 dum. Nothing I can do, man. Nothing I can do. Done. Wow. So close to the island, man. You know what it is? It was that... those clouds, man. Those forming up clouds what really screwed me over, man. I forgot about that turbulence. You know, there's still a lot of turbulence here, man. There's a lot of gust wind here, and I should have known that. I should have known that. Damn it. But anyway, look. In closing, here's what I'm gonna say. Let's go to the map. Let's exit this. Let me give you my closing statement. You've seen it for 2 hours. You have experienced this Category 1 for 2 hours. I think I showed you enough for 2 hours. You've seen more than enough. And if you haven't, then you should rewatch this again. Let me make a closing statement about this hurricane. Let's go to the map, and I'll talk about this hurricane. All right, so this is where this hurricane is right now, currently. Put the live weather. So there's some more developments here. 1, 2, 1, 2. There's a bunch of developments. 1, 2. 1, 2, maybe 3. 1, 2, 3, maybe 3. I don't know. Well, we're in that active season right now. You know, July, August, especially August, September. But this thing right here, this is what we were checking out. This is Elsa. Currently, it's next to Dominican Republic in Puerto Rico, just south of Dominican Republic and Puerto Rico, which is right over here. This is Cuba over here. This is Pirates of Caribbean's. Jack Sparrow. It's in here somewhere. Bahamas, Nassau, bunch of islands here, okay? This is South Florida, obviously. Now, this thing can go so many different directions. Projected path by the American model is that it's going to go this way, scraping the west coast of Florida. Now, that's the projected path. They're not gods. They cannot tell you 100%. What category is it going to be once it gets over here? Because we got plenty of water here. plenty of water. Even when it exits over here, the flat area of Cuba, there's a bunch of mountains here, but there's also a flat area here around this section of Cuba. Once it goes out to the water here, look at all that water. Hot water here. I mean, what's going to stop it once it gets up here to category 4? Or it gets up here, category 5. What's going to stop this thing? Absolutely nothing. Especially right here, the Gulf of Mexico, entering this, peninsula right here into the Gulf of Mexico, this Caribbean here, into the Gulf of Mexico. Here, I mean, poof, it's going to gain some ridiculous speed. Now, if it, let's say it gets up here, which way is going to go? If the higher pressure is coming down here with the lower pressure going down, then guess what? It's going to pull to the left. It's going to pull to the left, and it's going to go left. And guess where it's going to go? New Orleans, Mobile, New Orleans, Alabama, around this area here. Again, we don't want to see the hurricane go to New Orleans. Definitely we don't want to see Katrina repeat with another female name, Elsa. Imagine that, Katrina and Elsa hitting the New Orleans. God forbid. I hope that this doesn't happen, but you guys have to remember, these hurricanes are so unpredictable. There's so many things that play out. The high pressure, low pressure, and it keeps changing. Constantly changing. And no one can give you 100% guarantee that it's not going to go that way as a category 5 or make a landfall as a category 5. So there's all kinds of options here. All kinds of options to look into. Or we could have a Wilma scenario, another female name that's significant with Elsa female name. These females, they're very pissed off, so watch out. We could have Wilma repeat of Elsa here, gaining the strength right over here, right here, right here, and then moving. If the lower pressure pushes us up, then the lower pressure moves it to the right, and guess what? Straight through the Keys. It's gonna devastate the Keys over here. Straight to the Everglades, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, West Palm Beach, and the worst case scenario is doing what Wilma did, going straight up here from the bottom of South Florida, going straight up. And then this is critical right here. This is Okeechobee Lake. Okeechobee Lake here, the famous lake that's significant with the Florida Eye, South Florida Eye. This is very significant, Okeechobee Lake. You don't want that levee to break. If that levee breaks, if it's not strong enough, oh my goodness, the kind of floodings you're gonna see here, oh my Lord, you're gonna have crocodiles and alligators and pythons in your fucking backyard. Flooding, major flooding. This could be a worst case scenario that could happen. I hope it doesn't happen, but I have to give you these different scenarios. If it doesn't happen, thank God, thank Lord. We're all blessed, but there's a good possibility that this Elsa could make all kinds of unpredictability here. So from between now and Tuesday, all of these projections could be possible. It could hit New Orleans as a category 5 and have the same repeat as Katrina did with another female hurricane named Elsa. Or we could have Wilma repeat with the same female name as Wilma did, now with Elsa. Elsa hitting us here from the bottom, going straight up in the center. going straight up to the Okeechobee. It was going to be devastating. It's going to devastate the Keys. It's going to devastate the Homestead, Miami, Palm Beach County, Treasure Coast, Okeechobee, which is the most dangerous, is the Okeechobee right here. Breaking that levee, having the flooding, and then going straight up and going through these farms and devastating the Florida farms, and then devastating Orlando here, Kissimmee, and dude, this could be devastating for Florida if it makes, let's say, God forbid, Category 4 landfall and devastates the South Florida and Okeechobee here, and then Category 3 right here in Central Florida. This would be devastating for Florida. Devastating. I hope it doesn't happen, but it could happen. That's the whole thing here. I don't mean to scare people, but there's so many unpredictabilities here. And the reason I say that it could strengthen to a Category 4 or Category 5, look at the temperatures. Look at the damn temperatures on the water. Especially up here. Those are some hot waters right there, man. Temperatures are ridiculous due to the global warming. And hurricanes, they need that fuel. That's what keeps them going, is the hot waters. The only thing that's going to make difference here is the pressure. Higher pressure, lower pressure. Okay? That's what's going to determine which direction this Elsa goes to. Left, right, higher pressure, lower pressure. So anyway, we'll find out in next 48 hours. We'll have much better understanding where this thing is going. By Monday evening, we'll know exactly where this thing's going to go. 100%. So keep an eye on it. Enjoy your 4th of July. But you should definitely keep an eye on it. Keep an eye on the sucker. This is the very first hurricane. The earliest hurricane. I don't remember having a hurricane this early in July, dude. It's not even July 4th. It's July 3rd. To have hurricane this early, that's ridiculous. So anyway, there you have it. That's all I got to say about that. Keep an eye on this Elsa. If nothing happens, then great. That's awesome. But it would behoove you not to take this seriously. It would behoove you. Celebrate your July 4th. Have a good time. But in the back of your mind, you should remember, if you live in South Florida, if you live in Keys, if you live on the panhandle of Florida here, if you live on the New Orleans, Louisiana, Alabama, if you live on even Houston, Texas, you should keep an eye on this thing. Because this thing could slingshot from here, higher pressure comes down, and move it to the left over here and hit to Houston, Texas. Remember what happened in Houston? Major flooding. Was years ago, they had a major flooding in Houston. Remember how terrible that was. People keep forgetting what happened in Houston. People forget easily these things, they forget. But the nature doesn't. Nature always reminds you. Nature will always remind you who's in charge. So that's all I gotta say. That's my, predictions. So we'll see what happens. We'll find out in 48 to 72 hours. I think 48 hours. We'll find out Monday evening exactly by 7 p.m. evening. We'll know exactly. Once it reaches here, which way it's gonna go. This way, that way, this way, or that way, or this way, which is the worst case scenario, going straight up like Wilma did. So hopefully, I don't know, it goes up this way and just disperse. But again, remember, hot waters here. Too much of hot waters, man. This is bad news. All this hot water here is just no good. So there you have it, guys. That's all I got to say. Stay safe, be good, happy 4th of July, and take care.